Harry Houdini lived a relatively short life, but it was one that was fascinating and mysterious. Houdini, who was born as Erik Weisz on March 24, 1874. He was one of 7 children. He passed from this life on October the 31st in 1926. When a young Erik Weisz became a professional magician, he began billing himself as Harry Houdini. As Houdini toured Europe, he started gaining some attention for his handcuff tricks. He started billing himself as Harry Handcuff Houdini. He would invite local authorities to come up and place handcuffs on him, and then he would escape their handcuffs. The crowds loved it. But Houdini didn't have the success he had hoped for as a magician. While his handcuff and card tricks got attention, it just wasn't enough for Houdini, which led him into experimenting with escape acts, for which he is now most famous for. Houdini would escape from chains and ropes, and over time his escapes included straitjackets underwater, escaping from inside sealed milk can. But one of his most suspenseful was his buried alive escape. Houdini would claw his way out of the coffin and up through the dirt to emerge in an almost panic-stricken state. The audience was on the edge of their seat with the thoughts of Houdini's life hanging in the balance, the weight of the dirt crushing him and his air supply running low. Houdini also ventured into filmmaking and made several movies. The films weren't as successful as Houdini had hoped, so he eventually gave up acting. In 1894, Houdini met and soon married fellow performer Wilhelmina Beatrice Rainier. She became Houdini's stage assistant for the rest of his life. During Houdini's life, there was a growing interest in spiritualism and the paranormal. People would travel for miles and gather outside of supposed haunted houses in hopes of seeing a ghost. They became known as ghost mobs. This eventually gave way to psychics and mediums, mostly in the form of seances, many of which were fraudulent. But they still managed to fool a large number of people and grow in popularity. Oftentimes at these seances, mediums would claim to be able to talk to someone who had recently passed away. They also would produce loud bangs and sounds, and sometimes even photographs. Photographs of ectoplasm became very popular among mediums. It was said to be a substance of spiritual energy and a connection to the afterlife. They were almost all fakes. Houdini was very close to his mother, and her death in 1913 hit him especially hard. Because of this, Houdini took an even greater interest in mediums and seances. Houdini wanted to talk to his mother again, and started going to seances. But with his background and knowledge, he soon realized the tricks being used by the mediums. But this didn't discourage Houdini. He kept trying other mediums and other seances. After several attempts at contacting his now deceased mother, and realizing that these mediums were just frauds, Houdini made it his mission to expose these fake mediums. Mediums and psychics in this era of time were the rock stars of their days. As Houdini exposed them, he was actually making a lot of enemies. After all, he was cutting off their money by exposing their tricks and exposing them as frauds. Oftentimes, Houdini would don a disguise, and once he was at the seances, he would expose the tricks being used. Normally, he would also have the police around, so Houdini became one of the first debunkers in the paranormal field. It is unknown just how many fake mediums and psychics Houdini exposed, but it appears he still thought that contact with the spirit world could be possible. Houdini and his wife had an agreement that upon his death she would hold seances, and that if there was any way possible, he would make contact. They even had a secret code to help root out fraud. His wife Bess held the final seance on October 31st, 1936, 10 years after Houdini's death. She had held the seances every year on the same day since Houdini had passed away. The final seance in 1936 is often regarded as the greatest attempt ever at contacting the spirit world. This final seance had over 300 guests, with 13 scientists, people from the occult, reporters, and magicians. They all gathered for this last attempt at contacting Houdini. The seance was even broadcast on the radio. This was truly a grand-scale attempt, but in the end, there was no contact from Houdini.
With the spotlight of the public on Houdini, with the whole world paused to see or hear Houdini step on this side of the curtain. Now let us bow our heads in meditation and prayer. O thou mastermind of the universe, please let the spirit of understanding descend upon us that are gathered here in the inner circle tonight. We are each in his own way seekers after truth. Please let thy spirit of understanding guide us and bring the light of truth to the many friends that have earnestly formed psychic circles and gatherings throughout the entire world. Aid us, guide us on this most important question to mankind, spirit communication from across the grave. We ask this universal understanding in all humbleness, and we offer our grateful thanks to thee. Guide us, please. Amen. O thou disembodied spirits, those of you that have grown old in the mysterious laws of spirit land, we greet thee. We have gathered here at the appointed time. We have complied with all the requirements to enable all of you to make your presence known. Members of the spirit world have long known of the intention of this important gathering tonight. All is in readiness. Please now, the time is at hand. Make yourself known to us. Any of you, please. Manifest yourself in any way possible. Please let your united strength and knowledge aid Houdini in coming through. It is the spirit of Houdini we wish to contact. Houdini, are you here? Are you here, Houdini? Please manifest yourself in any way possible. Take from this earnest gathering any strength that may be necessary for you to use. Take any vital thing from us that you may need to enable you to carry out your promise of years ago. We have waited, Houdini, oh so long. Never have you been able to present the evidence you promised. And now, this is a night of nights. The world is listening. Harry, your world, your audience, And Bessie is here. Your Bessie, who was part of you for 33 years. She's here, Harry, pleading in her heart for a prearranged sign from you. It means so much to her, to all of us, to the world. Harry, we are all seekers after truth. Please manifest yourself by speaking through the trumpet. Lift it. Lift it. Speak through it. Speak. Speak, Harry. We are watching and waiting, Harry. Levitate the table. Move it. Lift the table. Move it. Rap on it. Spell out a code, Harry. Please. Ring the bell. Let its tinkle be heard around the world. Do it, Harry. Please. Please, Houdini, we are waiting. Bessie is waiting. Oh, thou spirit, your religion is based on love. And by that very token, a love of 33 years that have even entered into eternity, by that love I ask that you come through with the evidence. By the love of the little silver-haired widow, by the love and esteem of the countless friends, the evidence, Harry. And Houdini, Dash is listening in. Dash, Hardin, your brother has joined us with a circle. He has formed in New York City, 3,000 miles away. He has joined with us to seek the truth. And the circle in Baltimore, Philadelphia is listening in Providence, in Chicago, Leonard, who was once a protege of yours, a circle in Portland, Maine, and in the faithful city of Detroit, in Victoria, Canada, Tacoma, Rockford, Oakland, and San Francisco, all over the world, all joining in. Come through, Harry. And Houdini, Colonel Harry Day, member of the British Parliament, has formed a circle in London, England. Colonel Day was your closest boyhood friend. Houdini, you must come through. And at the bottom of the world, Australia, the country where you made history, has joined in. We are crying to high heaven, to the powers that be. We are crying in one mighty magnetic voice from every corner of the earth, and the hearts and minds of the multitudes are centered here tonight. We want the evidence, the truth, in the name of humanity and love. If there is communication from the great beyond, come through with the evidence.
Then followed calm and silent meditation, and again a tense and dramatic soul pleading, in which Mrs. Houdini joined Dr. Saint, but no sign from Houdini. At last Dr. Saint, in a voice that broke and filled with emotion, asked,
Mrs. Houdini, the 0 hour has passed. The 10 years are up. Have you reached a decision?
Yes. Houdini did not come through. My last hope is gone. I do not believe that Houdini can come back to me or to anyone. After faithfully following through the 10-year Houdini compact, using every type, medium, and seance, it is now my personal and positive belief that spirit communication in any form is impossible. I do not believe that ghosts or spirits exist. The Houdini shrine has burned for 10 years. I now reverently turn out the light. It is finished. Good night, Harry.
But that's not where the story ends. The October 31st Houdini seance has become a tradition, and they are held by various groups and spiritualists all over the United States. Harry Houdini was somewhat of a mysterious man in life and in death. Even though Houdini's life was cut short, his life and legacy still live on.